Hey everybody, Jennifer Roberts here, Pod Queen, and I am here today to talk with you about Psalm 34. I'm just going to select a couple of verses in it, and as you know, we've done a little series about kind of practical prayer life, and I just want to tell you just what I've been doing with this psalm, and then highlight some of the verses that I just want to talk about today. Often you approach Bible study and there's this big, ambiguous, oh my gosh, where do I start and how do I do this? And so what I've been doing with Psalm 34 is I've been reading the whole thing through, and then I read a verse and I pray a verse. And then I read a verse and I pray a verse. And so, what do you mean pray a verse? So this is what it looks like. I go like this. Let me see. Verse 4. I sought the Lord and he heard me and delivered me from all my fears. So then I've just read that and I make it a statement. I'll say, God, I will seek you and I will trust you and I will believe that you will deliver me over everything that makes me afraid and troubles me. And then it turns the Bible into something personal that you can launch off of back to the Lord. And then pretty soon you're having a conversation around the Bible. Now, we've mentioned this stuff before about how to engage, but I just want to show you just how practical it can be. And it doesn't have to be this huge book of the Bible. Don't start with the book of Jeremiah. I mean, start even with Psalms and go through a psalm a day. Read it, pray it, read it, pray it. And if you really want to be cool, sing it. I mean, read it, pray it, and then begin to develop a language around that passage of Scripture and begin to let yourself start singing it. The Bible talks about encouraging yourselves with psalms, hymns, and spiritual songs. You can make your own spiritual songs based on the Bible. And it just, for me, well, honestly, I don't sing very well, and so when I do sing, it's more distracting. Just being honest, it can get a little scary. But the times that I discipline myself and say, who cares? No one can hear me. I'm going to do this. I just find that my heart becomes unguarded. And I start to see the Scripture in a new way. And it hits my heart differently. And I begin to think things about it in my mind. And pretty soon you're having full-fledged conversation about the Bible with God. And I think it's so good to be asking Him questions. What were you thinking? Why did you say it this way? Now, maybe not so much with the Psalms because it's more poetry and songs and statements about God and maybe not so much stories. But I do ask the Lord as I'm reading through if it's a particular psalm about David that he wrote. You can find out the context of which the psalm was written, what he was going through, all of that, which is so fascinating. And then you can identify even with his emotions in it. So, I know I am going to talk about Psalm 34, but this is a little, precursor to my little Bible study. So, because I just want to make it easy, I want you to know that you really can engage with God. It doesn't have to be this super complicated thing. And especially when my kids were younger, I remember what I did was I worked through Psalm 139, and it took me a few months to go through it. And I would start with verse 1, "O Lord, you have searched me and you've known me." And then I would think about that verse all day long. And I would talk to the Lord about it when I was doing my normal daily activities. And sometimes those normal daily activities is you're a college student and you're studying for a test and you have a moment of space in your mind and you can begin to talk to the Lord about, "Oh Lord, you have searched me. Wow, you didn't delegate that job to someone else, but the one that created me searched me." And then I would imagine a floodlight searching me, and it brought comfort to me that I didn't have to be so anxious about, oh God, what's all the bad stuff inside of me? God will search me, and He will bring it up in His timing. And so that's how you can actually go deep in the Bible, is to go slowly through it. And so I spent months with Psalm 139, just chewing on a verse for an entire month. And you just can get so much out of it, and it becomes the language of your heart then. Okay, that's just my little blah, blah, blah. So, Psalm 34, I've been into this verse recently. And Psalm 34, verse 15. "The eyes of the Lord are on the righteous, and His ears are open to their cry." And so what I like about this is you are righteous. I am righteous. Because we've been given the gift of righteousness, we've been made clean and we have right standing before God. So then we can confidently know that God's eyes are on us. So I'm not alone. I am not without help. I am not without a Father watching over me. Because how many times do you feel lonely in this world? Even though you have close-knit friendships, relationships, I'm married to my best friend. I mean, I've got good fellowship, but there's sometimes you still feel unknown. Part of it is, like I said before, we're travelers in this life. Our citizenship is in heaven. Full fulfillment and satisfaction doesn't come until the two become one, till we're reunited with God. So there is that element that still exists. And so I know the eyes of the Lord are on me. So I think about that. When I'm running around in my day, I stop and go, oh, wow, God, you are watching me. Oh, peace be still. And it comforts me to know that my Father, who is a good Father, is watching me. And then it's not that he just sees me. He's not just observing me. He's not just leaving me alone in my life but watching. But it says his ears are open to my cry. So I imagine God, who sees me, watching me, he's enjoying me in the process, and then his ears are open. It's like he's leaning forward with his hand going, come on, what is it? What does he want to say? What do you want to talk about? I like that. I like to know that God has his full attention on me, that his ears are open to me. So I've found favor in his sight. I can ask him for stuff. I can confide in him. I can talk to him about what my day is like. He's not too busy. He's not irritated by my simple requests, by my, blabbering away. He likes the sound of my voice. He's not harsh with me. His ear is open to me. I love that. Da-da-da-da-da. So I'm going to skip 16. 17, I like this. The righteous cry out and the Lord hears. He hears. So he listens, he watches, he listens, he hears. He takes it in. And he doesn't just take it in for information's sake. He takes it in to do something about it. We have an advocate. Our advocate sits above the circle of the earth. Our advocate holds us in the palm of his hand. Our advocate knows us and enjoys us, listens for the sound of our voice. That is so comforting to me. Then the part that I really, really love. So the righteous cry out, the Lord hears, and he delivers them out of all their troubles. Okay, this is what I imagine. All my troubles are lame, okay? God is currently managing the universe. He is currently pursuing nearly 7 billion souls. I mean, he's pursuing my heart to get me to love him more, to abandon more to him. He's pursuing someone that doesn't know him so that they can know him. He hears every cry. He says every tear. He understands every victim of human trafficking that's cried help and no one heard God hurt. I mean, he is filled with dilemmas to solve, with situations that require God to fix. But yet it says, he delivers me out of my trouble. He doesn't look down and go, oh, Jennifer, come on. I am trying to deal with the prostitutes in the red light district in Mumbai, and what is your problem? He doesn't treat me like that. And all of a sudden, I'm elevated to the place of dignity that God would note me in my situation and wants to deliver me out of my trouble. My trouble, which is so minor compared to the God that sits above the circle of the earth. By his will, things exist. The one who spoke and creation came into being. And he's not irritated when I come to him, call upon him, but he wants to deliver me from my minor, silly trouble that God doesn't view that way. I'm so glad I'm not God. I would be irritated going, are you kidding me? I am managing the world here. What is your problem? You're running out of money? So what? God isn't like me. We all need to be thankful for that. But the point is, God sees, he hears, and he acts and delivers us. I like him. I like him so much. And the Bible is so rich